Why modern horror makes babies monstrous. This is called The Hatcher. In Silent Hill F, you fight a creature covered in pregnant abdomens, multiple bellies, all of them distended, bulging, ready to birth something. When the developers at Neobard's Entertainment sat in their planning meetings and asked, what should be the most horrifying thing in our game? This is what they chose. Not a monster, not a demon. Pregnancy itself. Why? What worldview makes new life the ultimate horror? The Hatcher isn't alone. This isn't an isolated design choice by one troubled artist. This is a pattern across modern horror gaming. Resident Evil 8 features a giant baby monster that crawls after you, making infant sounds. Catherine has a boss called the Child, a massive screaming baby covered in veins that later returns with a chainsaw. Dead Space's lurkers are necromorphs formed from embryos. The Binding of Isaac literally names entire levels the womb. In each case, developers took what should be sacred, the beginning of human life, and made it the source of revulsion. Let's examine why. This sequence in Resident Evil Village is widely considered one of the most disturbing moments in the entire franchise. You're trapped in a narrow hallway. The lights flicker, and this thing crawls towards you. It's massive, fetal, makes crying sounds, and you can't fight it. You can only run. Notice what Capcom did here. They didn't just make a scary monster. They made an infant the monster. The sounds it makes, those are baby sounds, distorted but recognizable. The vulnerability of infancy, twisted into something that hunts you. Why would Japanese developers, working in a country with one of the lowest birth rates in the world, choose this imagery? I don't think this is accidental. When a culture stops having children, when reproduction itself becomes rare and feared, artists begin to reflect that anxiety. The baby isn't just scary, the baby is the horror. Catherine is interesting because it's more explicit about what it's doing. This boss is called the Child, and it screams "Daddy" as it chases the protagonist Vincent through a nightmare. The game is about masculine anxiety, fear of commitment, fear of fatherhood. And what does the nightmare manifest as? A giant screaming baby that wants to kill you. Later in the game, this same baby boss returns, but now it has a chainsaw. Let's think about what's being communicated here. Fatherhood as nightmare. Children as threats. The natural consequence of male-female union, new life, depicted as something that will destroy you. This isn't just psychological horror, this is anti-natalist propaganda dressed up as entertainment. So let's go back where we started. Silent Hill F's Hatcher. Multiple pregnant bellies on a single creature. You fight it. You attack pregnancy itself. The player is put in a position where they must do violence to pregnancy to progress. The womb isn't a place of creation, it's a source of monsters. I want to be careful here. I don't think every developer making these choices is consciously trying to devalue human life. Art often expresses what artists don't fully understand about their own worldview. Trauma, fear, cultural anxiety, these all bleed into creative work. But intent doesn't change effect. When millions of young people spend hours fighting baby monsters, attacking pregnant creatures, fleeing from infant horror, what is being formed in them? What associations are being built? Pregnancy means horror. Babies equal threats. Fatherhood is a nightmare. Creation is grotesque. Every game developer operates from a philosophical framework. Sometimes they're aware of it, often they're not, but it's there in every design choice, every monster created, every nightmare crafted. What framework produces this? What philosophy sees the continuation of human life and thinks, that should be the horror? I'd suggest it's a worldview that sees existence itself as suffering, where bringing new life into the world isn't a gift, it's a curse, where the future isn't something to build toward, it's something to fear. This is fundamentally nihilistic, and it's everywhere in modern horror gaming. But there's another framework, one that sees new life as sacred, that views creation as participating in something divine, that understands bringing souls into mortality isn't random biology, it's eternal purpose. From that framework, these games look very different, not just disturbing, spiritually backwards, inversions of truth. So here's what I want you to consider. These aren't just creepy monster designs. They're not just psychological horror. Every choice a developer makes reveals something about how they see the world. When pregnancy becomes the monster, when babies become the horror, when fatherhood becomes the nightmare, what is being said about human existence? And more importantly, what is being formed in those who consume this repeatedly? I'm not saying everyone who plays Resident Evil Village suddenly hates babies. That's not how this works. It's subtler. It's the slow accumulation of associations, the cultural water we swim in. When an entire generation is raised on media that depicts new life as grotesque, is it any wonder birth rates are collapsing? Is it surprising that young people increasingly see children as burdens rather than blessings? The developers of Silent Hill F, Resident Evil 8, and Catherine didn't cause demographic collapse, but they're reflecting it, reinforcing it, making it aesthetically compelling. So next time you see a baby monster in a game, freeze the frame. Ask yourself, what worldview produced this? What does the creator fear? What am I being taught to associate with new life? What else are you not noticing? If this made you think, subscribe for monthly deep dives into gaming philosophy. Next episode, when motherhood becomes the monster, we'll examine why games turn the sacred feminine into horror. Freeze the frame, find the truth.